Hello and welcome to our Post-Mortem. Our team members are Cory Laframboise and Alfredo Borroto.
For this week, we continue to structure our plan for our app with clear scope expectations in mind. We have plans to add new features into our design document to further meet target user needs. We also plan to make individual retrospectives more clear to form a better grasp of the current state of each member's experience. For our upcoming app, we have chosen two methods to gather the data that we need. One of those methods is interviewing potential users about how our product can satisfy their needs. Interviewing can be either quantitative or qualitative, depending on the question. So for this case, we decided to go with the qualitative route by asking 5 open-ended questions to each user. How do you currently manage your monthly finances? What do you do to remember your monthly due dates? How do you track your monthly petty cash spending? What aggravates you the most about managing your finances? If you could have any tool to help you manage your finances better, what would it be? Face-to-face interviews allow us to capture the user reactions beyond what they can put into words. Nonverbal cues are as important as the answers given, and these can only be captured by physically seeing the user's reactions as the interview progresses. It's easier to keep the user focused on the topic during an interview than filling out a survey on their own, and spontaneity is another advantage of the interview process. It allows the interviewer to ask questions that were not part of the initial script. Time constraints may not allow a complete interview to get answers to all the questions initially planned. To avoid this, we should create a script with questions to ask during the interview and prioritize the most relevant questions. Knowing the questions beforehand does help secure the interview's productivity and better time management. The interviewer may collect the data incorrectly or affect it by inputting their own biases into the responses. We can reduce the small talk during the interview and take notes as the interview progresses to avoid forgetting the responses and filling the gaps with our own perspectives. Manually recording the data can extend the time of the interview and lead to incomplete answers provided by the user. Utilizing digital recording media, or better yet, speech-to-text software, can provide a complete interview record and a text transcript to search for keywords. The second measure we chose was a qualitative survey to determine the usability of our app. We gave the users 3 tasks to do, utilizing our prototype, and a survey to answer at the end of the test. What do you like most about the mobile application? What do you like the least about the mobile application? Which feature would you likely use the most? How often would you use it? Are there any features that you think you need but are missing in the mobile app? Describe. Surveys can be quantitative or qualitative. If the survey involves a questionnaire with measurable answers, it is a quantitative survey. On the other hand, it can be considered a qualitative survey if it has a quality or experience-based question. A survey is a more agile way of collecting data. They are easier to make and distribute. With a survey, we can reach a more extensive user base and get more data about the product. There are times when the users don't enter accurate data or complete the survey to the end. To prevent this from happening, we can keep the surveys short. This will encourage more people to complete them, and the responses will be more accurate due to the lack of fatigue from answering too many questions. Sometimes different people may misunderstand the questions or misinterpret them. We can use easy to understand words to convey the question and avoid using jargon. Surveys can sometimes lack personalization, causing the user to lose interest in answering the questions. A splash of color or a more interactive way to answer the questions can go a long way when we want to attract and keep our users' interest.
We selected the survey method to conduct our testing research. Utilizing the Adobe XD shared prototype tool, we created a public link where our users could interact with our prototype. From there, we made a short survey for them to complete on the site surveymonkey.com. The survey consisted of the 5 questions shown before. We have 4 participants fill out the survey, and these are the results. On question 1, 50% selected that what they liked the most about the app was its utility, 25% the design, and the other 25% prefer the features. On question number 2, 75% said that their least favorite part was the navigation, and 25% chose the features as their least favorite part. For the third question, 50% select being able to create budgets as their favorite feature. At the same time, the other 2 participants chose to get notifications reminding you of an upcoming due date and the ability to categorize their expenses. On the fourth question, 50% said they will use the app every day, 25% said they would use it every other day, and 25% said they would use it every week. Unfortunately, the 5th question didn't yield as much feedback because only 1 participant answered it. Her recommendation for a new feature on our app was to have the ability to add pay dates along with the due dates. This shared survey gave us enough data to see the areas we need to improve, what works, how our user base reacts to our app, and how often they will use our app.
One way to enhance the experience of our app is to learn from similar apps already available. By gathering data from sources such as the reviews of similar apps, we can identify common trends and themes. We've organized that data down to a simple pros and cons chart. As more data was collected, we were able to identify 3 main strengths and sought after improvements among several of the similar apps. The strengths the users loved were that the apps were easy to use and user-friendly, the users were able to filter their expenses by category, and the apps allowed for multiple accounts. The 3 main sought-after improvements among these apps were not having an option to set up budgets for each category, not having a print or save as PDF option, and not being able to specify the source of payment. Now that we've identified this crucial information, we can utilize the features of our own app to highlight the user's needs. Some of the features being considered for our app include online data backup, being able to switch between different accounts quickly, displaying projected budgets to show how much of a budget has already been spent, as well as the ability to mark future payments as paid ahead of time to keep an up-to-date budget. This week, I think what went well is that we delegated our work better and have a more established communication system. For the bad, we didn't get much, if any, coding done this week on the app. Moving forward, we can use the Trello board more to have easier access to documents, even if they are in progress, and it would also help with keeping the Trello board that much more up to date.
All right, for the good. This week our team managed to better our communications. Since my colleague and I have opposite schedules, we agreed to create small reports at the end of the day, communicating the progress we have made on that given day and what we're going to work on the following day. This way, we know what needs to get done and we can split the work more effectively. So the bad for this week was that our team didn't have much time to progress on the development of the project due to time constraints. We focused most of our time developing this week's assignments and we didn't have much time for anything else. As for future improvements this upcoming month, we as a team will start developing our project full-time. We will use our well-prepared Trello board to tackle each piece of the project and achieve our milestones on time to deliver a working product at the end of the month. And with this, we have reached the end of our Post-Mortem. I hope you enjoy and thank you for watching.